So, looks like they send out another survey, this time about new classes, including Tinker, Bard, Pistolia, which, please God, if they ever make a gunner class, please call it Pistolia. Can you imagine? Pistolia? I'm so down for that. I don't give a shit if it's the most dog shit non-meta spec ever made. I'll play Pistolia. I'm a piss main. I'm a piss main, friends. Astromancer, Witch, Apothecary, Celestial Spear Fighter, Battle Mage, Artificer, Lay Weaver, Prismatic, Titan Slayer, Necromancer, Tanking Hunter called Guardian, Spellbreaker. Here is the leaked survey. No photo. Oh, here we are. There are photos of the survey. Now, without going into more detail here, my natural first reaction is, what utter dog shit. My first reaction is, this is absolute bullshit. Can you, like, this is like the fakest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It's just so fanficky. Yeah, they all sound incredibly fake. And has Blizz ever done anything like this before? You know, sent out a list of like 20 potential classes and being like, which one would you like? I just don't see it. Now, that's not to say that it is fake, by the way, because I do not have the wherewithal, knowledge, or skills to prove one way or the other if it is fake or not. Okay, so like I'm not sitting here telling you it is fake and that you're an idiot if you believe it. I'm just saying that my first reaction to it is, this is very fake. So maybe I'm an idiot and I'm completely wrong and I'll eat loads of shit. Should we have a look at some of these classes and you can decide if I'm going to have to eat shit or not? In fact, that will be the aim of this entire segment, okay? My stance is that this is incredibly fake and that shame on you if you believe it, but I might have to eat shit. So your aim as we go through this is to decide whether I will have to end up eating shit or not. Let's have a look. So this is literally like the translation of the survey. When you choose which class you want to play in WoW, which of the following information sources do you use or find useful? Choose all that apply. Okay, they don't supply the answers there. When you choose a class playable in WoW, which of the following factors do you consider? They don't include the options there in this translation. If WoW would add a new class, which role should it have? Survey page 4. Answer the following questions for the concept of a Tinker class. Prismatic. As heirs to titanic power, prismatics are carriers of cosmic powers that can only be used in their purest forms, but their transcending powers can be merged to new powers. They refine and focus the power of life to heal allies, or the powers of order to protect themselves, or they merge the combined powers of death and shadow to deal damage to enemies. Does that sound like a class description for anything in this game? Serious question. Forget that it's obviously nothing to do with Tinker. Does that sound like a class description for anything that exists in this universe? It just doesn't sound like WoW. Does that make sense? Yes, if you use AI to write it. Yeah, absolutely. So look, on the face of it, right, you're going to see why I think it's fake by just these descriptions, because they just don't make sense. I think AI might have had something to do with it. Now, you could argue that it's a translation, and it is a translation, but then my argument would be, well, why does this survey apparently only exist in Germany? And also, this is not how they decide what classes to put into WoW. Pandas did not sound like WoW. Yeah, but like the concept of the monk class in WoW was not, it is a panda. The concept was, it is a monk. How do we make a monk work? How do we decide what a monk works like in WoW? All of these descriptions are working in reverse. It's deciding what the class is first and then fitting it into the game. No WoW class has ever worked like that. They decided on that they, the expansion suited a Death Knight. So they went, we're going to do a Death Knight. And then they worked out the class. They went, we're going to do a Monk. And then they worked out the class. We're going to do a Demon Hunter. And then they worked out the class. We're going to do Magical Dragons. And then they worked out the class. All of these class descriptions are working in reverse. They're basically writing the mechanics of a class and then working out a way to fit it into the game. And WoW has never, ever worked like that. And that, for me, is the main reason it feels fake to me. Does that make sense? Anyway, and hopefully that will become clear as we read the descriptions a little bit more. Answer the following questions for the concept of a Tinker class. Okay, so forget the whole Tinker thing. I think this is a bad translation. But anyway, Bard. Bard class I'd be very into, by the way. Supporter, healer, and tanks that utilize the Song of Azeroth to cast mighty spells. Now that's kind of cool that bards suddenly start existing because of the Song of Azeroth, because of the Radiant Song. That's quite a cool way of getting them in the game. It's like, oh, the Radiant Song is happening, so there are bards now because they can utilize the Radiant Song. I like that. I think that's a sound idea. I think that's really cool. They utilize the Song of Azeroth to cast mighty spells, support their allies, and weaken their enemies. Bards shine in a group, empowering and improving the spells of others, and at the same time bringing numerous songs and auras to help their groups reach new heights. This is like the most legit one in my opinion. But then Bard is such like a standard, class description. It's got that really cool little kind of twist where they're utilizing the Song of Azeroth, and I genuinely think that is really cool. If it was just this and like one or two others, I would find this entire thing more believable. The fact that there's like 20 fucking classes here is what makes it less believable to me. Because apart from anything, like these surveys are not written by some dude in a room, okay? These surveys are written by committees. These surveys are written by like companies that they get in to write them. Blizzard, I'm talking about. Not this survey. This survey was written by ChatGPT. But like actual Blizzard surveys, they are written by people who it's their profession to write surveys, right? And I don't think if they were actually trying to find a new class that appeals to people, they would include this many new options because it's overwhelming for a survey. It's like hard to read and conceptualize of these classes because there's too many of them, which is what makes it feel fanficky as well. And like I say, I could be completely right, and I could be eating shit. Everything about the class seems fake, but a few people confirm receiving the email, and it comes from the official research program team. Well, the screenshots you've seen do, yeah. But here's the thing. Every obvious leak has loads of people saying that it's true. Every obviously fake leak has lots of people saying it's true. That happens with every obviously fake leak we've ever seen that has gained traction, is that other people come out and confirm it, even though it proves to be fake. I don't think just on the face of it and just in the concept, I don't think people coming out and saying, oh yeah, and confirming it, especially something as easy as just saying, yes, I also received this survey. I think we've established that the community in general will always try and stoke this shit. We've seen very obvious links being corroborated by other people and proven to be fake. So I would remain skeptical, but like I say, maybe I'll eat shit. You all want to see me eat shit, right? You all want to see me eat shit? I'll eat the shit. I'm happy to eat shit. Lucky for me, I love eating shit, so I'm always up for eating a bit of shit. Answer the following questions for the concept of a gunner class. So what are the questions? What questions would they like us to answer? Gunner, quick, offensive, ranged combat characters that wield two pistols at the same time. I thought we were calling this the Pistolia. They apply different elemental effects to their weapons to create the deadliest arsenal of destruction against their foes. So here's the thing. I love the idea of a gunner class, but not an elemental infused gunner class. That can F right off. If Blizz give me a gunner class, I'm taking this on face value right now. If Blizz give me a gunner class and it's all about empowering my bullets with like storm or fire and stuff like that, get out. That's not what I want from a pistol class. I want the pistol class to be some dude who's made a gun. Just a cool gun. Not one that uses magic. I don't want a magic gun. Okay? I don't want a magic gun. I just want a cool gun. Yeah, like Luigi. I want to be Luigi. Astrologian. Mighty spellcasters that use the cosmic powers of the stars and gravity to deal devastating damage, like balanced druids. So balanced druids then. They utilize celestial energies to cast spells, like balanced druids. Manipulate gravitational fields, summon meteor swarms, and create star explosions, like they're balanced druids. Like this class literally exists in game. How can you think this isn't fake? They've literally just described a class that already exists. And if you're sitting there going, holy shit, that class sounds so amazing, I've got very, very good news for you, fam. Well, I don't have good news for you, actually, because you have to play balance, and that sucks. So I've got very bad news for you. If you've decided you want to play this class, I've got very bad news for you, because you got to play balance. Okay, we want to present a few extra class concepts now. Some of them were already presented, others are new. Please take your time to read each concept carefully, then click on next when you're ready to proceed. As a reminder, not all ideas you see here are currently considered or in development, and we ask you to keep all content of this survey confidential. I mean, I don't buy any of this, I'm sorry. Apothecary, masters in the creation of potions and brews, like Brewmaster, which they use to harm enemies and empower and heal allies. Oh, unlike Brewmaster. They create unique combinations of elements, do give potions varying effects, be it explosive, toxic, or granting extreme power. Alchemy, the class, yeah. Hey, look, you know what? Fine. That is your bog standard RPG class. Sure, I buy it. Like, the one that really gives this away as fake for me at the moment is Astrologian. The bard idea of using the song, very cool, very good. I like that a lot. And like, yeah, I could see an apothecary as a DPS or healer class for sure. I think an apothecary DPS class would be. Am I allowed to say lame? Is lame a bad thing to say? I guess it is, isn't it? It just sounds really shit. An apothecary DPS class? What, you just, like, what, would you throw potions? Or would you, like, I guess you'd make little puddles of AoE damage, and there could be some cool thing where you've got, like, an aerosol and a lighter, like that, maybe. You know? And like, maybe Molotov cocktail kind of things. It sounds dumb. It sounds rubbish. There's my feedback for you, fake Blizz thing. It's fake. And here's the thing, right? One day, we'll probably get a bard. And when we do get a bard, everyone will go, see? The survey was right. Turns out the survey was real after all. But it won't mean the survey was real after all. Nope. Astrologian. Yeah, we've read that one. Bard. Yeah, we've read that one. Witch. And I want to be honest, I like Witch already. I haven't even read the description, but I like it already. Damage dealers and healers that use old magic to reach towards darker natural powers. They magic includes curses, familiars, rituals, spiritual connections, poisons, decay, and more. I feel like this would fit very well into the Warcraft universe. Yeah, a drusty thing would be great. This sounds wicked. I'd be up for this. It would feel a bit like Priest, but this fits. This is good. I like this. This class builds onto the teachings of witches and dark magicians in WoW. Yeah, all those. WoW is famous for its dark magicians. I was, I was at a parent meet and greet the other day at school, and I was like, And they were like, what do you do? And I was like, I'm a YouTuber. And they're like, oh, what do you do? I cover video games. And they're like, oh, is there a game in particular? And I was like, have you heard of World of Warcraft? And they were like, no, I never heard of World of Warcraft. Jog my memory. What is it? Well, it's set on Azeroth and it's like a fantasy role play game. And they're like, no, not jogging my memory at all. And I was like, got a load of dark magicians in it. And they were like, oh, the Dark Magician game? Yeah, of course. Why didn't you just say so? The Dark Magician... Guys, he covers the Dark Magician game. And they were like, what, World of Warcraft? Oh, I love all the Dark Magicians in World of Warcraft. So cool. Including the Witches of Drustvar. I mean, like I say, this one would actually fit pretty well. The Gilnean Harvest Witches, the Decay Gnolls, and Troll Hexes and Spirit Magic. It'd be great because you could have like totems, but they wouldn't be like elemental totems like Shaman. It would be a kind of more witchy totems. I genuinely think that could be cool. This and Bard so far, legit. Astrologian sounds awful just because, you know, Balance Druid is awful. Apothecary sounds very, very whelming. I don't want no elemental gunner class. Celestial Lancer, warrior that uses spears and Titan magic. Thank God. I've had a warrior character in this game for 20 years. And if there's one thing I hate about warriors in World of Warcraft, it's the lack of spears and Titan power. I'll be playing warrior and I'll be like, there's just not enough spears or Titan power in this warrior toolkit. When will they give me a warrior that can equip spears, I say? When will they give me a warrior that is heavily rooted in Titan fantasy, I say? But they never do. They never do. And that's why we need Celestial Lancer. And that's why this survey definitely isn't fake. Oh, wouldn't it be amazing if they let you become some kind of like Titan Colossus kind of thing? Just as like a cooldown or something. It'd be really cool. Yeah, it'd be wicked. Yeah. You could have like a kind of Celestial Titan spear thing that you throw, which kind of like works as a snare or something like that. Be sweet. Can you imagine if they let you dual wield spears? Oh, holy shit. Okay, I'm voting for this class. It would be amazing. It would be so good. Warrior that uses spears and Titan magic. So, a warrior. That are empowered by the gods for quick jumps. Holy guys! Can you imagine if your warrior could do a jump? Can you imagine what a hero you would be if you could leap? So wait, you're telling me that Blizzard are thinking about introducing a warrior class that can use spears, Titan empowerment, and can jump? This is definitely real. Okay, I'm eating shit right now. Consider me shit eating because I was like, this is fake. But this can only be real. This just sounds like, to me, I was saying that all this shit sounds like stuff that wouldn't be in the game. But I have to eat shit on this. I have to like admit my mistake. This sounds exactly like something that could be in the game. A warrior that uses spears and Titan magic that are empowered by the gods for quick jumps and strikes. I've got to admit, that sounds like it could be in the game. Don't you agree? It definitely sounds like it could be in the game, to me. Yeah. I'm eating shit. Consider me a shit eater. Battle Mage. Battle Mages empower their weapons with the might of the elements. Guys! Can you imagine a class that, like, enhances their weapons with the power of the elements? They've just got all these cool elemental enhancements. Can you even imagine, though? Can you even imagine? You know when I said no shade on you if you believe this? I've changed my mind. If you believe this, you're a fucking idiot. I've changed my mind. I'm so sorry. I said at the beginning, no shade on you if you believe this. Like, it's fine, whatever. I'll eat shit. But I've changed my mind. If you believe that this is real, when it's literally described 3 classes now at this stage that literally exist in the game already, then you're an idiot. You need to try harder. You need to take a good look at your life. You need to ask why you're so easily fooled and make changes. You need to make changes. This is why you're so lonely. Okay. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people read the quite good description of Bard and then shared this and were on board. It's not even class skins, Nolga, because like a warrior that uses spears and titan magic that's empowered by the gods for quick jumps and strikes, that is literally just a World of Warcraft warrior. It's 2 different warriors in the game already. There's literally 2 classes of warrior that do that. You can literally just use that as a description for the warrior that exists in World of Warcraft. It's not even different from anything. It's literally just the warrior. You could, like, if you went onto the World of Warcraft website and it's like, here are the different classes that exist in World of Warcraft, and this was the description of warrior, you'd be like, yeah, you wouldn't think there's anything weird with that. You'd be like, yeah, that's a good description of the World of Warcraft warrior right there. Yeah. You wouldn't think anything of it. It wouldn't jar with you. You wouldn't be like, wait, that's not like a warrior. You'd literally read that and you'd be like, yeah, that is a description of the warrior. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Can I get one-handed spears, though? Dude, if you're Fury, you get one-handed anything. Battle mages empower their weapons with the might of the elements to aid their allies, weaken foes, and create constructs to control the battlefield. So, an enhancement shaman. They've just described an enhancement shaman. That's three classes that exist in the game that they've described. Artificer. Melee-based tanks. A melee tank. Okay, I get that's not really what it's the same, but yeah, okay. Melee-based tanks, damage dealer, and healer that use a mix of handmade machines and Titan technology. Mechanic reactive gear is the foundation of their power, while utilizing new weapon types like extendable flails or reactive shields. Sorry, which new weapon types? Sorry, what's the new weapon type? Is it's not the extendable flails, because those exist. It's not the reactive shield, because they exist. So what's the new weapon type? How does anyone believe this? This class is on the front lines of battles and protects and supports their team with their inventions. Unless they're one of the damage dealers, obviously. I mean... right, okay. Ley Weaver. Ley Weaver are connected via ley lines to the natural powers of Azeroth, like an arcane mage. So an arcane mage, because the ley lines are arcane energy, right? So they're drawing on the arcane power of the ley lines for their power. So they're an arcane mage. Their connection to these arcane power lines allows them to move quickly along them and manipulate the... What, do you mean they move as quickly as, like, blinking? Not that fast, surely. Wait, they could move so fast that, like, it's like you blink and they've appeared somewhere else? Or portals? That's instantaneous, Mario Diogo. They help allies deal damage to enemies and buff and debuff as wanted. God, I feel like even the AI couldn't be bothered with this one. Even, like, the AI got halfway through this one and was like, actually, this one's shit. Don't put this one in. I started something I couldn't really finish on this one. Sorry. No, do you know what? It sounded good when I started saying it, but I literally got bored of it halfway through. Like, even the AI is ashamed of this one. The AI is like, bro, don't put that one in. Just leave it out, please. Gunner. Oh, we read that one. Prismatic. We read this one at the very beginning, but we're going to read it again. Now that we're kind of in tune with these descriptions a little bit more. As heirs to titanic power, prismatics are carriers of cosmic powers that can not only heal, that can only be used in their purest forms, but their transcending powers can be merged to new powers. They refine and focus the power of life to heal allies, or the powers of order to protect themselves, or they merge the combined powers of death and shadow to deal damage to enemies. I feel like I almost had a stroke reading that, and whoever wrote it is definitely now dead of a stroke. I feel like I just really hope they got the help they needed, because there's such a short time frame from a stroke taking hold to it being kind of like deadly. And I just really hope they got that help, because they definitely had a stroke writing this. It's just a word salad. It doesn't make any sense. To be fair, that part could at least be the translation. I mean, maybe the bad cadence of it could be, but it still doesn't make any sense. Even if we try and make it, like, structure it better. As heirs to titanic power, prismatics are carriers of cosmic powers that can not only be used in their purest forms, but their transcending powers can be merged to new powers. So basically it's saying, like, I am a master of all the cosmological forces, right? Okay, let's make this readable. They are masters of all of the cosmological forces, is how we could have written that. They are the Avatar. They refine and focus the power of life to heal allies, all the powers of order to protect themselves. So there's a healer who uses life powers. There's a tank who uses order and arcane. Or they merge the combined powers of death and shadow to deal damage to enemies. Well, sucks to be fel or light, doesn't it? It's like, I am the master of all of the cosmos. Watch me use order powers to protect myself. Watch me use life powers to help people. Watch me use light. Watch me use shadow and death magic to hurt people. Oh, that's awesome. What can you do with light and fel? We don't talk about light and fel. But I thought you were the master of all that. No, I am. I could use light and fel. I just don't want to. Yeah, you can buy the light and the fel from the shop. Yeah. Yeah, the green is not my color, really. I mean, augmentation prismatic drops halfway through the expansion. Yeah. Cunning and agile melee gunslinger. Oh wait, so we've had the gunner, and now we've got the gunslinger. Oh, this sounds like more the kind of thing I want. Cunning and agile melee combatants. Hi, Chris, thanks for seeing me. I've got this amazing idea for a new class. Come in. Sit down. What's your new class? Let's hear it. If it's good, I'm gonna put it in the game. Okay, it's a gunner class. They use guns? We need a class that's all about using guns. People love gunner classes. Oh, pew, 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 pew. It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna put it in the game. Tell me more. Okay, it's a melee class. A melee class. Yeah. And they use guns. But they don't shoot the guns because they're melee class, obviously. So they just hit people with them. Or they fire them, like not at them, but like really close to their ear, and it stuns them because they've gone deaf. Cool. Yeah, sounds great. Sounds like a great class. I'll call you. The melee gunner class, everyone. People are seriously sharing this online, and like, they put, ooh, take this with a pinch of salt in the tweet or whatever, which like is supposed to let them off the fact that they are seriously engaging with this as a possibility. This is the fakest shit I've ever seen. And you remember other fakest shit I've ever seen where I said it was the fakest shit I've ever seen and you guys were all like, oh no, Tally, I think it's real. Everyone's saying it's real. Everyone says it looks really real. And I'm always right. It always turns out to be the fakest shit that you've ever seen. Yeah, well, I'm saying about this. This is the fakest shit you've ever seen. This is not real. Yeah, this is as fake as Asmongold saying he's sorry about saying some dumb shit. Like, it's just not, it's like obviously not real. But I'm enjoying don't get me wrong. I like lots of dumb shit. I take genuine enjoyment out of loads of dumb shit. I play World of Warcraft, right? So I'm enjoying this thoroughly. Cunning and agile melee combatants that use 2 pistols are once. They use 2 pistols, but they're melee, of course. Makes sense. Their sharp eyes allow them to see the weak points of enemies and deal with them quickly. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if Blizzard announced a dual pistol wielding class and the cheer that would greet it? People would be standing on their chairs at BlizzCon. People would be going mad. And then they said, it's a melee class. Can you imagine? Like, would there have ever been like such a case of edging ever? Necromancer. Yeah, don't you guys have melee range? Titan killers combine the sword fragments. Like, not even a mid-range class. Like, mid-range classes exist in WoW now since Evoker. They could be like, it's another mid-range class, like Evoker. It's a ranged class, but it's not like a long-range class. It's a mid-range class. How cool would that be? That would work. I'd believe that. But why would they call it a melee class? Right. Titan killers combine the sword fragments of Tayshalak and Goribal to use the powers of Gorsalak and connect to the cosmic power of the Titans to destroy any threat to Azeroth. So they're not Titan killers. They're not Titan killers like I kill Titans. It's like, what job do you tally? Oh, I'm a dragon killer. Whoa, you kill dragons? No, I use this dragon tooth to kill people. You're not a dragon killer then, are you? Like, what? No, Your Honor, this is just a misunderstanding. I'm not a child killer. I just use like Play-Doh to kill my enemies. It's like, oh, we've got mice, Tally. Don't worry, I've called the mouse killer to deal with it, and turns up with like just ears. He's got, I'm gonna beat these. I just hit people with this cheese. I'm not going to kill those lovely mice. What are you talking about? I just hit people with cheese. What? I mean, I am a lady killer because I choke people with this lipstick. It's the dumbest shit I've ever read. Yeah, okay. Titan killer. Great. Brilliant. Necromancer. Summon an army of undead that follow your commands and overrun enemies in combat like a unholy death knight. They combine different summoning spells to build the perfect army like a demonology warlock. And this is what we've always said about necromancers, right? Like, you know, if you were going to design a necromancer class in WoW, you would just design the demonology warlock, but with skeletons instead of like demons, right? Like, the necromancer class exists. Like, you couldn't make a better necromancer mechanical class than demonology warlock. It already exists. So I don't, yeah, I mean, and that's not to say that that's fake, by the way, because Blizzard does all kinds of stupid stuff. But yeah, like I just don't. Yeah, it's a weird one. Tinker. Genius inventors who have uncovered the secrets of the Titan technology and using it to protect their allies, heal wounds, and attack enemies. Through their understanding of machines, Tinkers can create innovations, custom-made skills and spells. Custom-made skills and spells. Control mech suits and deploy mechanical constructs to create an advantage in combat. Yeah, all sounds legit apart from the custom-made spells and skills, which sounds really weird. But yeah, makes sense. If it was just this and Bard and Witch, maybe, I might believe this. You know, if they just show, and this is the thing with fakes, they never show enough restraint. We've said this before, haven't we? When we've been going over fake leaks and stuff for expansions. The number one thing that gives away a fake, whether it be a leak or anything else, is they can never resist just going too far. They can never resist. Like they just like overload it. They can never just keep it subtle. And if they just kept like these four things, I might have believed this. Warden, versatile armored hunters who, with their art of chakrams and traps, devastating ranged and melee attacks employ. Oh, lovely bit of German cadence there. Love that. Love that German sentence structure. Versatile armored hunters who, with their art of chakrams and traps, devastating ranged and melee attacks employ. Can you imagine if we had some kind of hunter class that used traps? And maybe an ability that was called chakram as well, and had a ranged and melee spec? Be amazing. It'd be so good. I did post my own fake on MMO Champ once. It did not gain traction. It was not a good fake leak. Because it's fun. Spellbreaker. Melee characters that specialized in the combat against magical powers. They ward magic, but they can also empower their gear with magic of their enemies to improve their combat capabilities. Yeah, cool. I buy it. It's enhancement shaman, but I buy it. I'd make it 5. There are 5 that I'd believe. I buy that one. That's cool. I get it. Right, and then it goes into like really weird combinations. Please pick the class which you would most likely play in WoW and which you would likely not play in WoW. Let's play the game. Let's do it. Astrologian, Tinker, Celestial Lancer, Spellbreaker, Necromancer. There's literally no way they're expecting everyone to remember this shit. This is on a different page. I can just scroll up and read it. They're expecting people just to remember this shit. Out of these, I would play Celestial Lancer because I love my warrior. Please don't forget, the Celestial Lancer is literally a warrior that already exists in game. I did not get the Fellbike yet. No, it sounds like a bit of a ball ache, to be honest. I have got the red one though, because someone sent it to me. I would choose Necromancer out of this, I guess. It's the least ridiculous one. Please pick the class that you would like, and I wouldn't play Astrologian because that is just a balanced druid and that sucks. Please pick the class you'd like to play in WoW, which you would not play in WoW. I can't this is so, all these ideas are so dumb. I can't even play the game properly. Lastly, we would like to know which class concept would be most interesting for you if you could play it in WoW. I guess that means they want you to make one up. They would never ask this. They would never ask this in a survey. Like, writers for video games, they can't read suggestions that people send in to them because if it's known that they do read stuff like that, they would never be able to include it in the games. Because of like the potential lawsuits and stuff. So which one would you just most be interested out of all of these? Oh, Bard, for sure. Like, the Bard one's a good idea. And the good thing about the Bard one is that obviously just having a Bard is a good idea anyway. But I genuinely, hats off to the fake person here. I genuinely think that utilizing the Song of Azeroth and the fact that they are using the Radiant Song to be bards, and that's why they're bards. Like, that's a really good in-game justification and in-universe justification for why bards have just suddenly started happening. I think that's really cool. I think that's like a genuinely very, very good idea. I like the witch idea as well. I think the witch aesthetic could be a good one. And there's enough leeway in kind of familiars and idols and stuff like, and decay magic and stuff like that. There's enough leeway to create a unique feeling spec there, I think. Spec, though, not class. You know? And again, Bard would be like, I don't think you can have a multi-spec class for Bard, surely. Like, Bard is a spec. That's the thing. It's not a class, unfortunately. Or maybe I'm not. Maybe, who knows? Anyway, I personally think this is all fake. And like I say, I would be happy to eat shit. I wouldn't be that happy, because I think if this is actual Blizzard stuff that they're sending out, I would be very worried as to why they do not recognize that most of these classes are already in the game. Like, Astrologian is literally a balanced druid. Celestial Lancer is literally a warrior. And you know, not similar to the extent where if you went to worldofwarcraft.com and you were reading an official Blizzard description of the classes, if this Astrologian description was literally the description of balance, you wouldn't blink. You wouldn't think it was weird. You would think it fitted perfectly. If this Celestial Lancer description was literally the description of warrior, you wouldn't even blink. You know? Likewise, if the Warden description was the description of a hunter, you wouldn't blink. There's nothing contradictory. Like, literally. Yeah, so it's a hard one. I mean, you'd probably think it was very badly written, but you wouldn't even think that Weaver was a bad, like an incorrect description of Arcane Mage, honestly. You know? It's so weird. And I feel like I don't think you can explain all of this with the fact that it's translated either, because obviously there's an AI element to the translation for sure. But like, these are actual classes that exist in the game already, and that makes me think that AI has definitely had a hand in writing this from the start. It's very, very odd that this is getting the traction that it's getting. You know? Because people aren't sharing it going, haha, this would be fun, but look, it's complete bollocks. People are sharing it like, you know, seriously, semi-seriously. And they're covering their backs by being like, oh, take it with a pinch of salt or whatever. But like, they are sharing it seriously. And it's worrying. Are we that dumb? Are we that gullible, all of us? I just don't buy it. But if more than one person said they've received the survey, who am I to argue? It's definitely real.